Okay, so this is a video I didn't really expect to be making today. In a bit of a surprise move, BeyondATC has launched into its early access mode. So we're going to take it for a test flight from Edinburgh down to Gatwick, give it a run for its money and see what's what. We'll start by running you through how to get yourself set up with BeyondATC. We will compare the premium voices to the default voices, because that's kind of a bit of a big thing. And we'll of course get ourselves, up in the air for a full test flight and see how it performs end to end, gate to gate, see what we get. Once we're up in cruise, we're also going to talk about how this could be used in concert with VATSIM. It's not like it has to be VATSIM or BeyondATC, because this could be a really cool tool to kind of plug the gaps when you get handed off to Unicom on VATSIM. That's when there's no human ATC available. So let's not mess around. Let's get stuck in. Let's see how this performs, and let's get going, because I'm really looking forward to this. Right, so once you load up BeyondATC, this is what you are going to be presented with. Type in your SimBrief pilot ID and then click fly, and it should connect to the sim. Jolly good. Right, so it's just going to load in all of our stuff. So obviously I've gone into SimBrief and made us a flight plan from Edinburgh down to Gatwick. So it's now kind of reading into all of that. And we're good. Brilliant. All right, let's quickly dive into the settings and just quickly show you what's going on. If you're having a hard time running BeyondATC on your system, there is a low performance mode up here, a little toggle switch, which you can do. You can also set your key bindings. What I've done is I've selected my trigger here for my push to talk on my Thrustmaster Airbus side stick. And obviously you've got all your kind of sound stuff here that you can set up your microphone input, do some tests. And you can also select the voice of your auto respond voice if you want BeyondATC to auto respond for you if you're too busy flying. AI traffic isn't ready yet. So what that will do is it will have obviously AI traffic around, and BeyondATC will be controlling that traffic, and you'll be able to hear the conversation between that traffic and BeyondATC, kind of like being on VATSIM without being on VATSIM, which is pretty cool. But up here, the voice quality is kind of the meat and potatoes of what we want to talk about here. So what we have is you can have a premium voice or you can have a basic voice. Now, what we're going to do in a minute, we're going to test out the basic voice, and then we're going to, once we've tested that to kind of hear how the basic ones sound, we're going to switch into premium all the way down to Gatwick. So what that will do, for every character that premium voice uses to speak, it comes off of your 50,000 characters that you are given here. So I bought the basic version of BeyondATC, and you get 50,000 characters thrown in. You can obviously then top that up over time. So what I'm curious to see is, on about an hour's flight from Edinburgh to Gatwick, how many characters are we going to be left with at the end of it? And then hopefully that you can kind of extrapolate that out and get a sense of how long those 50,000 characters are going to last you and how often you're going to need to be topping up. So we'll test out both, and then we'll move over to premium voices all the way. So let's go to the basic voice and do a voice sample and see how that sounds.
This is a basic voice sample. Dutch Malay, Eurowing 7201 Heavy, turn left heading to 80, vectors for traffic.
Okay, not bad, not bad. Let's go to premium and see what the difference is.
This is a premium voice sample, German male, Lufthansa 2539er, super identified, climb to flight level 060.
Okay, that is so much better. Okay, that's fine. Traffic, so that's what the controller is going to sound like. What is the traffic voice model? Is there going to be any difference? Let's test it.
This is a basic voice sample, Australian male, Qantas 2953, descend to flight level 070, cleared direct Tiga.
I mean, that's not bad, is it? Not really. The basic ones are okay. I think you could definitely get by. They don't sound too different to those, I won't say the name in case I trigger yours at home, but those Amazon things that you talk to. Let's just try the premium voice again. I know we're probably going to know what it sounds like.
This is a premium voice sample, U.S. female, United 259er, climb and maintain 15,000, altimeter 299er8.
Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it? That's pretty good. Okay, so we've heard the difference between basic and premium. Basic is fine, I think is fair to say. Premium is obviously very, very good. So we're going to just set everything to premium, and then we will see, once we get to our gate down at Gatwick, we'll see how many of our premium characters we have left after an hour's flight from Edinburgh to Gatwick. Otherwise, other stuff we've got going on here, we've got an auto respond that we can turn on or off. So maybe if you're, if you've got quite a high workload with the plane that you're flying, BeyondATC can talk to you to give you instructions, and then it can also auto-respond back, so you can just kind of listen out and just do the thing it wants you to do rather than have to say it back all the time, which is fine. You can also auto-tune your radios, which, again, could be handy if you're going from like ground to tower to center and so on and so forth. So one thing that's striking me as a little bit odd here is that my call sign seems to be Boeing 121. Now in SimBrief, I set my call sign to X-Ray November Oscar 121. Now X-Ray November Oscar is the call sign that we use when we're on VATSIM, when we're flying as Air Not, because I kind of fly as my own little airline. Let me show you. Here we are. So that's what we fly as on VATSIM, X-Ray November Oscar, and in my remarks I put call sign is Air Not. So when I talk to ATC, I might say Air Not 121, request push and start. Then the controllers see in my remarks that X-Ray November Oscar is Air Not. So it kind of works out, and then we can just, you know, instead of saying X-Ray November Oscar all the time, it can just be Air Not, which is really nice. So we don't actually have that by the look of it. I was hoping that we could maybe sort of click in here and type over it, but I can't see any way that we can do that. Maybe that'll come in time. But today we'll just have to call ourselves Boeing 121 and make do for now. Right, okay, so I have now got the plane with some power in it, and actually what I think we need to do, having just consulted BeyondATC's Discord, is click the headphone icon down here. There we go, and now it shows us all of the frequencies that we've got here at Edinburgh, which is super cool. So we've got ground, we've got tower, we've got ATIS, we've got all the things, and of course we can now start tuning those in. So let's start with ground. In fact, let's start with ATIS. Let's see what that sounds like. 131350.
Runway 24. Transition level 070. Numerous cranes in operation around Edinburgh. Advise on initial contact you have information, Lima.
Information Lima, okay.
Edinburgh Airport information, Lima. 2020 Zulu. Wind 250 at 6. Ceiling 2000 broken. 3000 overcast. Temperature 13, dew point 11, QNH 1006, landing and departing runway 24, transition level 070. Numerous cranes in operation around Edinburgh. Advise on initial contact you have information, Lima.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Pretty good. You can't argue with that. That sounded excellent, although I'm guessing that's going to burn through your premium characters rather quickly, so I didn't want to leave it on forever. But that's pretty impressive. So we've got information Lima, and we're going to use runway 24. QNH we got from that is 1006, and transition level is 070. So that's all handy to know. That's great. I'm going to get the plane fired up. Well, not fired up. I'm going to get the plane ready, and then we will ask for our clearance. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be like a clearance or delivery frequency, so taking the VATSIM top-down approach, we will go to the kind of lowest layer that we can, and that is ground. So we'll start with 121.980, and we will ask for our clearance to Gatwick. Alright, that's 121.980 in the standby frequency. Let's flip it over, and we will see if we can have a little chat to BeyondATC for the first time. Edinburgh ground, good evening. Boeing 121 at stand 1, information Lima on board, aircraft type Boeing 737-800, requesting IFR clearance to Gatwick, please.
Boeing 121, Edinburgh ground. Thanks for information, Lima. Expect runway 24, goes to 1, Charlie departure. Squawk 4055.
Okay, I was busy writing stuff down. I didn't actually hear the squawk. But it's a good opportunity to go back and say, sorry, can you repeat the squawk and see if they get it? Edinburgh ground, apologies, I didn't catch the squawk. Would you mind repeating? Boeing 121.
Boeing 121, Edinburgh ground. Thanks for information, Lima. Expect runway 24, goes to 1, Charlie departure. Squawk 4055.
4055. Okay, so it didn't quite get the could you just repeat the squawk, it repeated the whole lot, which I guess is fair enough. That's alright. Edinburgh ground, Boeing 121, GOSA 1, Charlie departure, expect runway 24, squawk 4055, Boeing 121.
Boeing 121, read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
It's pretty good. That voice is very good, isn't it? Very, very good. I'm going to continue getting the plane set up. I will skip you all of that, and then we'll get ready when we're ready for a push and start and get the show on the road. Okay, jolly good. So we've got GSX all ready to go for our pushback. I'm going to go ahead now and give Edinburgh Ground a call, see if we can get ourselves pushed back. Now, what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to leave the application minimized and just see how we get on. Because obviously last time we could kind of see a bit of feedback from the application because we had it kind of overlaying the sim. But of course, a lot of times you're not going to be able to see it. And I've noticed so far there are a lot of kind of audio blips and bloops that you kind of hear, which I think are designed specifically for when you're not having the app overlaying the sim and you can't actually see it, so it just gives you that extra bit of feedback. So we're going to try it this way and see how we get on. Edinburgh Ground, Boeing 121, stand 1, request push and start. Yeah.
Boeing 121, Edinburgh Ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face north.
Push and start approved, face north, Boeing 121, thanks. There we go, face. Okie doke, so that is us pushed back all nicely. So let's give Edinburgh Ground another call and see if we can get some taxi instructions down to the runway. Let's just quickly bring up our charts because here we are pushed back. So we started at stand 1, we've pushed back, and we're now on to Echo. I would normally expect instructions to be something like Echo, hold at Echo 1, maybe if there's traffic, then go on to Alpha, then down to Delta 3, Delta 1. Let's see what it says. I'm interested to see how this is going to go, because this is kind of where I feel like everything so far has been very, very good from BeyondATC, but we haven't actually made it do a lot so far. We've just basically asked for a push back and start and, you know, our clearance, which has all been great, not complaining, but I kind of feel like the taxi instructions is kind of where it can get quite complicated and where it might fall apart. So let's see how that goes. Let's give them a call and see what they say. Edinburgh Ground, Boeing 121, request taxi.
Boeing 121, runway 24, taxi via Echo Alpha.
Runway 24 via Echo Alpha, Boeing 121. Alright, so Echo is what we're on, and Alpha straight down to runway 24. Kind of what I expected. Good, pretty good, nice, happy with that. Okay. Let's taxi ourselves down. Echo, then Alpha. Parking brake off. Let's find our way down. Okay, so this is Echo. Nice and simple at Edinburgh, really. And again, it's kind of why a lot of VATSIMers get recommended to start here, because it's a single runway airport, the taxiways aren't too crazy. So it's kind of gotten itself a reputation really for being a nice place to learn, a nice place to get started. And it's a particularly fun airport to fly in and out of. I really do enjoy it a lot. So we're coming up now to Alpha here, which is going to be a right turn. And then we just trundle our way down, parallel with the runway. Obviously, if we're on VATSIM now, we'd be checking for traffic. Or if the AI traffic were working, we would be checking for any AI traffic. And here we are on Alpha, heading down to runway 24. So far, so good. Gold star for BeyondATC. Oh man, I love the Tobii Eye Tracker for like navigating turns. Alright, I will see you when we hold short of runway 24, and we will see if we get handed over to tower, or maybe they'll do that automatically, I don't know. Possible that they might. On VATSIM, once you kind of get most of the way to the runway, you'll get handed over to tower. Curious to see what happens.
Boeing 121, contact Edinburgh Tower, 118.7. Have a good day.
Contact Tower, Boeing 121, thanks for the service.
Negative Tower on 118.7.
Contact Tower 118.7, Boeing 121, thanks. Okay, that was good. So that was BeyondATC contacting us without us having, you know, we weren't doing anything. I didn't call them to say, can I contact tower? They just saw that I was getting most of the way down the taxiway towards the runway, and they were like, right, time for tower, which is exactly what you'd get on VATSIM, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Edinburgh Tower, good evening. Boeing 121, holding short runway 24.
Boeing 121, Edinburgh Tower, wind 240 at 6, runway 24, line up and cleared for takeoff.
Line up and cleared for takeoff, runway 24, Boeing 121. So we've got our takeoff clearance from Edinburgh Tower, and again, that voice was absolutely fantastic. Could definitely hear the regional accent going on there. That was excellent. I mean, so far, this has been very, very reminiscent of VATSIM, without being on VATSIM. The fact that the ground controller, as we were trundling down the taxiway, approaching kind of the holding points where you would typically get handed off to tower, that happened, you know, exactly the right point. And then we handed our, you know, tuned tower. Tower immediately gave us takeoff clearance. The voice was absolutely superb. Now here we are, lining up and waiting. Jolly good. Okay, everything's looking good up top. And we have our clearance to go. So let's hold it on the brakes. A little bit of forward yoke pressure. And click the shortcut to do a flex takeoff. Thrust set. Let's get down to Gatwick.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
Boeing 121, contact Edinburgh departure 128.908.
Contact Edinburgh departure 128.98. Boeing 121. Okay, so I very, very quickly got the plane into autopilot because we're quite busy. Edinburgh departure, Boeing 121, airborne, approaching 3,000 feet.
Boeing 121, Edinburgh departure, identified, climb to flight level 170.
Climb to flight level 170, Boeing 121. Okay, let's get 170 in the window. We've got VNAV on, we've got LNAV on, auto throttles on, the plane's doing the lot. We can just sit back and relax.
Boeing 121. Contact Scottish Radar 119.87. Have a good day.
Contact Scottish Radar 119.87. Thanks to the ATC, Boeing 121. So just as I was saying, I wonder when they're going to hand us off. They handed us off. Good. Scottish Radar, good evening. Boeing 121, flight level 160.
Boeing 121, Scottish Radar, climb to flight level 350.
Climb to flight level 350, Boeing 121. There we go. So the majority of the work for our departure has now been done. We're just climbing up to cruise. So I thought it'd be quite a good point to actually touch on how BeyondATC could kind of weave itself into VATSIM, as opposed to, are you a VATSIM pilot or are you a BeyondATC pilot? I don't think it has to be one or the other, because you've got to remember that a lot of the time on VATSIM, it's not uncommon for you to be chucked over to Unicom. So you might start your VATSIM flight, say at Edinburgh, and maybe ground and tower are online, so you have an experience quite similar to what we just had. Then more or less, as soon as you get clear of the runway and start climbing, you'll get a call from tower saying no more ATC available, monitor Unicom 122.8, at which point you're kind of on your own. You just need to make sure that you're not basically causing problems for other pilots. So at that point, it makes you wonder, could BeyondATC kind of come into the mix a little bit and start giving you some ATC once you're on Unicom? And you can start BeyondATC mid-air and it will recognize that. So at this point, you've kind of got some decisions to make, because you need to be monitoring 122.8 at all times on VATSIM if you're on Unicom. You can't just turn that off and blindly follow what BeyondATC tells you, because of course you've got other users on VATSIM to consider. But what you can do, if we just zoom down here to the radio stack, you can see we are on our frequencies here on VHF1. If you were on, say, Unicom, we could have VHF1 tuned to 122.8 so that you can hear and talk to the other pilots on Unicom. But if you go over to VHF2, you could then tune the frequencies that BeyondATC want you to tune to, and that you could then start talking to BeyondATC and getting ATC that way. You would kind of have to be a little bit careful, because imagine if we could see that there was some traffic ahead of us and BeyondATC gave you an instruction that would potentially cause problems for the other traffic. You might have to say, you know, negative to BeyondATC and just not do it, because you've got to keep in mind that the other VATSIM users, if you just start blindly following what BeyondATC tells you to do, you could cause them some serious problems. So you kind of like, remember when sat-navs first came out and you would hear of stories of like people driving into rivers? It kind of, you know, harkens to that a little bit. So you just need to use your brain a little bit and think of it as an aid, as opposed to I must follow it blindly, otherwise I'm going to upset it. Don't worry about upsetting it. It's just a, you know, it's just a pretend ATC. It's not like you're on VATSIM. You don't want to upset the people on VATSIM. But there is definite potential here for, you know, when it comes time for Unicom, and I've done it, you know, we do live streams here on the channel, and if I were to do one in the morning time in the UK, there's not a lot of ATC online in the morning. It's generally in the evening. So you might get lucky. There might be some ground or some tower if you start at somewhere like Gatwick, but once you kind of get taken off, it's quite often crickets until, well, all the way to your destination in some cases. If you're heading down to Spain or across Europe, it's more or less Unicom all the way. So at that point you could be like, okay, BeyondATC it is, and still have a great time. So I do think there's a potential here for it to weave together quite nicely. Obviously this is my first outing in BeyondATC. I haven't actually tried what I'm saying so far at the moment, but I kind of feel like it could work. If you've given it a go, leave us a comment, let me know how you got on. But it's definitely something I'm going to be trying on our live streams going forward if we get chucked over to Unicom, that's for sure. One thing I suppose we need to keep in mind is our push to talk settings as well, because if you imagine you're using VHF1 to tune Unicom and you're using VHF2 to tune your BeyondATC frequencies, if you start using the same push to talk button for VATSIM as you do BeyondATC, every time you talk to BeyondATC you're going to be broadcasting on Unicom. I can't imagine that going down very well with the other pilots, so you're going to want to set a separate push to talk. So there's a few things to consider.
Contact Manchester radar 118.77. Have a good day.
118.77 Manchester radar. Contact Manchester radar 118.77. Have a great day. Manchester radar Boeing 121 with you, flight level 350.
Boeing 121 Manchester radar, roger.
Cool. The voices are very good. Very, very good, aren't they? Okay, we're 5 miles from top of descent, so it's getting closer. Are they going to call us?
Boeing 121, DC-1 Golf, runway 26 left. Report ready for descent.
And just like that, they have. Boeing 121, ready for descent.
Boeing 121, descend to flight level 200.
Descend flight level 200, Boeing 121. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so we are approaching the waypoint Dizit, and we are approaching our current instruction from ATC to descend to flight level 200. Again, are they going to call us? Are they going to give us a shout? Tell us to go a bit further down? Don't know. I feel like they probably will, based on everything that's happened so far. I feel like they've been very proactive instead of reactive. So I guess we've got 10 miles to find out. Let's see if they do. Okay, that's coming us. That's us coming.
121, contact London radar 118.47. Have a good day.
London radar 118.47. Thanks. London radar, good evening. Boeing 121 with you, flight level 200.
Boeing 121, London radar, roger.
Okay, we are going to need to descend a bit more, aren't we? Because we're going off profile the longer we sit here at flight level 200. Let's ask. Let's see if they play ball. London radar, Boeing 121 requesting further descent.
Boeing 121, I didn't get that.
London radar, Boeing 121 requesting descent.
Boeing 121 did not copy.
Did not copy, okay. What do I need to say to get you to copy? Because at the moment we're stuck at flight level 200. What can I do? What can I do? Let's try again, asking differently. London radar, Boeing 121 requesting descent.
Boeing 121 request not understood.
Oh, you're just not getting it, are you? And I need to be at 15,000 feet. Okay, what do I do? Or is it that we're now on our SID, therefore we're expected to just descend as per the SID? I don't know. It doesn't strike me as probably what we should be doing, but I can't seem to get through to them that we need to descend, so I'm just going to start descending and see if they yell at us. That's probably what I'm going to do. So Willow, we're going to stop at 4,000 feet, so just put 4,000 in the window. And we're going to need some speed brakes, because we're now way off profile. Okay, first slip up for BeyondATC, I would say. That's a shame, it was all going so well.
Boeing 121, contact Gatwick approach 129.02.
Gatwick approach 129.02. Boeing 121. Gatwick approach, good evening. Boeing 121 descending, passing flight level 110.
Boeing 121, verify information, Kilo.
Information, Kilo on board, Boeing 121.
Boeing 121, Gatwick approach. Good day, QNH 1007. Expect the ILS runway 26 left with the Willow transition.
QNH 1007, expect ILS 26 left with the Willow transition, Boeing 121.
Boeing 121, descend to 4,000 feet. QNH 1007.
Descend to 4,000 feet, QNH 1007, Boeing 121. Okay, so now it's given us descent clearance to 4,000 feet, and it wants us there by Willow. And how far away is Willow? That is currently about 27 miles away. So had we remained at flight level 200, could we have done that in time? That would mean dropping 16,000 feet in under 30 miles.
Boeing 121, 6 miles from Willow. Turn left heading 335. Maintain 4,000 feet until established on the final approach course. Cleared ILS runway 26 left.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So heading 335. Turn left heading 335. Maintain 4,000 until established on the final approach course 26 left. Boeing 121. Okay, 335. So they're vectoring us in. Nice. Not sure about that. 335. That's going to take us directly over the airfield.
Boeing 121, can you give me a heading to my next fix?
Boeing 121. Direct Willow, turn left heading 295. Climb to 4,000 feet.
Direct Willow, turn left heading 295. Climb 4,000 feet. Boeing 121. Why? What is it doing? Thinking about it, I know what it's doing. Yeah, it's getting us to do this, isn't it? It's doing up this little loop here. So we're going to Willow.
Boeing 121, contact Gatwick Tower. 134.23. Have a good day.
Contact Gatwick Tower 134.23. Thanks. Boeing 121. Gatwick Tower, Boeing 121 with you, 4,000 feet.
Boeing 121, Gatwick Tower, continue.
Roger, Boeing 121.
Okay, let's request direct to fix.
Boeing 121, request direct to fix.
Boeing 121, unable direct at this time.
Okay. So we've now gone way past Willow. We could really do with heading back to May. Yeah, I think we need to go back to May. To be perfectly honest. Okay, I think it's getting a bit lost. Let's turn the old LNAV on. Yeah. Not entirely sure I agree with what it was trying to do there. For a minute there, I thought it was trying to get us to do this little kind of loop here at Willow and bring us back round to Holly and then to May. But obviously we're all the way out here now. Almost part way back to mid, which is kind of where we came in from. So we're doing a direct 2 back to May. And then we'll try and pick up the ILS.
Boeing 121, wind 180 at 2, runway 26 left, cleared to land.
Runway 26 left, cleared to land, Boeing 121. Yeah, I really want to see... Let's bring those up a bit. I really want to see what we get once we get on the ground. It's going to be quite interesting to me, that. Let's get ourselves over to the left just a touch. A little bit more throttle. Keep that speed on the go, because the speed is starting to dip just a little bit. Of course, this being the free version of Gatwick, this is where we... start to get the stutters, probably. Okay, it's just holding it steady.
500. 300.
Nice and easy. Got no excuses. There's no wind, is there?
200.
Yeah, I'm still very aware that I'm bobbing around over here.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And we're down. Beautiful. That'll do. Reversers. Manual brakes. And we will hop off.
Boeing 121, exit right at Foxtrot Romeo.
Foxtrot Romeo? Is this Foxtrot Romeo? I hope it is. Is it Foxtrot Romeo? Too late. Let's have to look at the sign. I think it is Foxtrot Romeo. Yeah,
Boeing 121, exit right at Foxtrot Romeo.
Oh. Exit right, Foxtrot Romeo, Boeing 121. I forgot.
Boeing 121, contact ground 121.8.
Ground on 121.8, thanks. Gatwick ground, good evening, Boeing 121 with you on Foxtrot Romeo.
Boeing 121, I didn't get that.
Boeing 121 on Foxtrot Romeo.
All aircraft be advised information Lima now current QNH 1007. Aircraft calling did not copy.
Oh, here we go, okay. Boeing 121 with you.
Boeing 121 did not copy.
What do you want me to say? Oh, okay. What options have we got? Request taxi to gate. Okay, let's see if I can say that. Gatwick ground, Boeing 121, request taxi to gate.
Boeing 121, welcome to Gatwick Airport. Say parking or advise if need assignment.
Ooh, what gate should we have? Let's go for gate 31. Gate 31, Boeing 121.
Boeing 121, unfortunately, gate 31 isn't suitable for your aircraft. Please select a different one or I can choose one for you.
Okay. Please choose for us, Boeing 121.
Boeing 121, say again, gate number.
Any gate.
Boeing 121, gate 107, taxi via Foxtrot Romeo Juliet, Quebec, Kilo.
Ooh, okay. That's pretty good. So, gate 107, taxi via Foxtrot Romeo Juliet, Quebec, Kilo. Gate 107, taxi via Foxtrot Romeo Juliet, Quebec and Kilo, Boeing 121. So, gate 107 via Juliet. What was it? Juliet, Quebec, Kilo. Yeah. 107. Sweet, let's go. Okay, so again, it's a little bit like if you don't say exactly what it wants, it's like, didn't copy. It's like, yeah, you did. You just didn't understand. Which, again, is fine. Early access software. Not having a go. But just you've got to keep that in mind. I think the thing to do if you find yourself in an instance like that is to bring up the app and just use the kind of clickable comms like I just did there. There we go. On to Quebec. Then we're going to turn on to Kilo. Just double check with the charts. Yeah, next right on to Kilo. Then we go stand 107. I'll leave a link in the description to BeyondATC's website. Again, not affiliated, not, you know, I've got no agenda here. Just if you want to learn more, I'll pop a link in there for your convenience. But overall, I'd say I'm quite impressed for a first outing. This is like, what, like day one really, of their early access system. So, yeah. Very impressed. I can't wait to see how it develops. I paid $29.99. I'm not sure what that is in pounds and pence because I haven't seen the conversion yet from my bank, but that's a one-off payment. No recurring monthlies, no nothing like that. And that gives you 50,000 characters of premium voice ATC, which reminds me, once we pull into this gate, we will load up the option screen, and we'll see how many of the 50,000 characters that come with your initial purchase, how much of that did we use today on this flight from Edinburgh to Gatwick. And then we can probably then sort of extrapolate that out and take a view on how long that's likely to last you and how often you're going to need to be topping up if you're going to use the premium ATC voices. And obviously once the AI traffic launches, if you use premium voices for that, that is just going to obviously absolutely gobble it up, isn't it? But that's okay. Here we go. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Try not to hit the jetway. Let's take a look in the options. So we started with 50,000 characters for our premium voices. How many did we use on the way down here? 44,287 remaining. So Edinburgh to Gatwick, a little bit over 5,000, almost 6,000. So 10 flights, we would have used all that up, and then you'd have to buy some more. So that's worth keeping in mind. And while the premium voices are really nice, the basic ones aren't too bad. So keep that in mind. Just keep it in mind. I think probably you could get by with the basic voices without any issue whatsoever, but there's no denying it. The premium ones are very, very good indeed. So we made it. We made it to Gatwick from Edinburgh. I feel like if I'm being, ultra picky, I do feel like the second half of the flight wasn't as strong as the first. Like I say, the pushback was great. The taxi instructions at Edinburgh was great. The fact that it handed us off to Tower without us having to ask or do anything, and it did it at just the right point that I would expect it to do it on VATSIM. Just as you're getting down the taxiway to almost to the holding points of the runway, you normally expect to hear contact Tower because ground are kind of done with you at that point, and that's exactly what happened. Then we got handed off to Edinburgh departures and over to Scottish radar and then to Manchester radar, London. All that went really well. It's just when we got that first descent clearance to flight level 200, it was all going well, and then they didn't give us any further instruction. And obviously I tried to kind of prompt them to give us that, and they just said did not copy, which I think is code for we don't understand. So I kind of feel like that's an area where they could improve. And then I think they started sending us on a weird and wonderful set of vectors as we were coming into Gatwick. So I kind of feel like that was a little bit of a letdown. So room for improvement there for sure. Once we got on the ground, it was able to give us specific taxi instructions to a specific gate, which I was very impressed with. That was a very good thing, because kind of once you land, it's almost like the next challenge is on VATSIM, find your gate and try not to mess up, especially if you're in an airport you're unfamiliar with, and that's when you start getting all the taxiways read to you. And that's exactly what happened. It's just getting it to do that was a little bit hard, because I called in and said Boeing 121 on Foxtrot Romeo, which, if I was on VATSIM, I think that would have been fine. The controller would have been like, oh yeah, I see you, taxi Juliet, Quebec, whatever. But I couldn't really say anything. I wasn't saying the right things to trigger it to start to give us taxi instructions to a gate, so I had to use the kind of clickable instructions. Let me just show you. So yeah, like here, like if I wanted to get a wind check, rather than using the mic to say Boeing 121, like wind check or radio check, I could just click these and it would do it. So if I just click it to show you.
Boeing 121 radio check.
Boeing 121, reading you loud and clear.
So I was struggling to get it to give us taxi instructions. I wasn't quite saying the correct thing. It was almost a bit like a verbal command line. Like if you've ever done command line stuff on the PCs or Linux or anything like that, you have to type the exact right thing. Otherwise, it's just like, nope. And it felt like it was a little bit like that. So there are a few rough edges. But again, this is early access software. And you need to understand that if you're going to buy this, this is early access software. It doesn't mean that you pay for it and you get it early and it's perfect. Yes, you do get it early, but it's not perfect. It's not finished. That's why you're getting it early. So you really, really need to understand that. I think a lot of people get very upset with early access software, being like, well, this is broken, that's broken. It's like, yeah, that's because it's early access software. So please, 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 if you take anything away from this video, take that away from this video. It is early access software. It ain't done. But more than happy to support these devs. I've been following this project for a long time. And when I heard it was out, I was really excited to try it. So glad to be able to share that all with you today. I hope you found this useful. Leave a comment. Maybe you have some thoughts on what I said to the ATC. Maybe you think I could have said something that might have helped it, prompt it a little bit more. Leave some comments. Let us know. Let me know if you've tried it. Love to hear from you. Until next time, folks, I'm going to leave it there. Take the very best care of yourselves. And as always, happy flying.